I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Road.Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.
Damn, feeling lucky. How about my whole streets? Us two in these streets. Diamonds on my feet. Caught up in these talks. Circling my head top. Should've been more cautious. Now I got what I wanted. Many I've been here before. Made it out of 11 more. Like my phone CoinEx. So I can't stop, I want it all. Listen up, I'm calling you. I need you to tell the truth. Remember when you wanted to. Remember that I said was you. Turn around, eat your greens. When you fight, but you do real clean. Then you come to the bed and you love real dirty. Everybody sweater drops, you're real keen. Bring it, let me get your juiciest piece. Can't remember when I had the same please. The shops to the club never had no boundary. How's it gonna be? Wanna eat these centipedes? Where we gonna go? You're gonna need these calories. Giving me a treat to refill these batteries. Then you only them on your knees. There's no way to dream. Ooh, it's sneaking up on you. There's nothing you can do. There's things about the boo. Sneaking up on you, there's nothing you can do. There's things about the boom. I lose control when you do it like that. Thank God you love when I go mad. Got you at the perfect time. I was such a you know what you want to do, but I can never be. Double up, yeah. Double up. The money I color. Double up. The money I color. 2 turns of 4 turns of 8. Sleep and get paid. Rich when I wait. I bet the bank. I set the pace. Guess what I make? That's what I make. Counting pockets, that's a trending topic. You got this and you got that, but got no spending options. I keep quiet, but still get it rocking. I keep quiet with it in my pocket. I keep quiet, moving stuff for silent. Double up. The money I color. Double up. The money I color. I swear God been blessing me. You think you been testing me? Throw me lemons, watch lemon squeeze. Pieces been my recipe. You buy watch and bust them down. Mine is my investment piece. Heard your mixes drowning out. You need to call Trevor, please. I don't fold, I don't fear. Pearly whites, no veneers. Keep it clean, check it's clear. Water clear, P is clear. See the light, you go dear. See the light, I go near. Let me shine, watch me shine. I'ma shine, vision clear. Double up. The money I color. Double up. The money I color. Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Lit check, been a minute, let me hit the homies in a group text. 10 years, same team, true vets. Got a couple trophies,
check,
but
1 2
them
1
chains
2.
on the neck. No. Got a couple Cardis, we don't flood with baguettes. It's a very small world, so my hand holds. Wake up, make the money, that's a man's role. Loyalty and love is what I stand for. Can't forget about trust, but first, please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking
January
for a good
28th,
time.
2024. 10:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get this going.
It's the week.
Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto Charts with Road Dogg Sunday night. Tomorrow the market opens and the big boys come back into the game. What will they be looking at when they get back over here? What will it be? We're looking at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange right here. This is a Bitcoin, huh? What I'm doing is I'm checking for any gaps that may have been left. So we go from Friday to Sunday. Skipped a little bit. No gaps that we see, so that's kind of interesting. That's cool. Here's the deal. Micro Bitcoin futures are sitting above 200 moving average here on the 6 hour. That's cool. Let's get back to our normal charts. Bitcoin right here. Put it on the 4 hour because it's mostly what we trade. So Bitcoin, what up? Got the Christmas tree candles right there. Looks like it's reclaiming that 9 moving average so far. It's got to close. It's got to open a candle above that to be confirmed. Now, if that happens, that is extremely bullish. Looks like she's wanting to try to make that little round here. Stochastics are moving to the upside. Money flows coming in. That's probably the biggest thing to notice. My personal opinion, looks like she's going to try and make one more run up here toward the top of this trend line, try to retest this area around 43,000. Now, will she succeed or will she get rejected there again? That is yet to be seen, my friends. I wish I had a definite answer that I could give you on that, but alas, he says, alas, I can't know. What I'm doing right now is that, yeah, that's the one. So we're coming here. I'm on the daily chart right now in the middle of this Ichimoku green cloud, not where you really want to be stuck in. Daily chart. We found support on the 100 moving average here. Found some rejection off the 50 and the 21, which would normally bring us back down to about this 9 moving average to retest it around 41,000. On the daily, but we're getting a nice little candle. What was concerning was this one that we had yesterday. After we made that high and had that wick, that can be a reversal candle. Now this one can cancel that. If it goes back up here and retest that, it can cancel it. It could also just wick down and we have a what we call a pin top and a bigger reversal that can bring us to the downside. We're in hot water for a possible reversal. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. We are in hot water for a possible reversal here. We do have a Hail Mary chance to blow past that and, pull a fast one on everybody. And that could happen at this point in the market. It really could. So we got to keep our eyes on that. We're basically down to a plan A, plan B scenario, and we're just waiting for that to play out. Thought I had that written out here all nice and pretty on a chart. Was it this one? No. Well, I'll be. I know I had all that stuff spelled out just all nice and pretty last night. Anyway, this is what I'm looking at. It's a very strong possibility it's a bearish retest. We don't want to really see that happen. That wouldn't be no bueno. This channel that we broke to the downside of a retest gives us a reason to come back down. And, you know, I'm looking at prices somewhere at, 38 where we've been before, maybe as low as 37, maybe. It just depends where I'm looking at. This trend line to hold is what I'm looking for. If that trend line breaks, then I am starting to look at some lower numbers because, oh hell, they just pulled one over on us. We don't want to, we do not, this red trend line, we do not want to go below it. We go below it, this whole parabolic move scenario is over. More likely a bigger push to the downside. But we got things in our favor saying, hey man, don't worry, man, be happy. We're making higher highs, higher lows. I mean, true, we lost this area, but overall, when you zoom out, we're still good. But we could even come down to 28,000 and still technically be okay. I mean, it's taking a beating. Might have to spend a few days in the hospital, recover, 6-week recovery. I don't know. Don't want to see that happen. We got our eyes open. It's really going to be based on what we see tomorrow. Some things that are a cause of concern, and that may be a cause of concern, is, you got your stochastics up here at the top. Well, if you can read that, it's like, oh, well, it's got to go down. It's going to be bearish. Well, no, it could actually pin up here, like it did over here. Like it did over here, like it did over here. It can pin up there and price can still move to the upside. So we don't want to rule that out. It's not a very dependable time to look at stochastics at the moment until you see them come down. When they start turning to the downside, like they flipped over here, yeah. And especially if they drop below, we don't have a line up here, do we? It was 80%. It was 80? I believe, yeah, 80%. If it drops below this little line here, you can pretty much say, we're in trouble. And that could be happening. I mean, my moving average strategies, my moving averages overall are telling me that we're kind of bearish right now. And if we zoom out to the 2-week, remember, we got a little bit of bearish activity here saying we could, have a little bit of a pullback, which we have been having. But it's not completely like, oh my God, we're going to tank, we're going back to 3,000. No, just a healthy corrections. And that's what I see there. Let's move on now to the indices so we can get on to our altcoins. Total 3 is the biggest one I'm looking at over here. Let me get rid of this measure move thing so it doesn't appear to be confusing. Right over here, total 3, we're flirting with a possible breakout, but we got that wick there. So if we wanted to get real stickler, we'd put it more in a channel and expect it 505 billion. We want to get above that. Let's just throw it out there. 500, we need to reclaim this area. We look like we're trying to maybe get a nice little start there, but I'm not seeing the volume. So the falling wedgie may just actually be more of a channel-y, telling us, hey man, you gotta set some higher goals there, baby. You got some work to do, altcoins. And it doesn't help that Bitcoin dominance is kind of, really it's at a standstill. It's moving to the upside, which is not helping our arguments for altcoins. She should get rejected and, from this channel and start coming down, and that will make a huge difference in our altcoin bag. So you'll be smiling ear to ear as this thing starts moving down to 40%. Oh my gosh, are we going to get that? We should. She's just taking her sweet time getting there, man. So I'm looking at this overall pattern. It's got the biggest power, but I'm also looking at the localized pattern, and that one could, it could send us on a wild little rabbit ride here. Not really beneficial to us as things just kind of go sideways a little bit, and that kind of sucks when you're trying to make money in this market because we need that volatility. Well, we need volatility, but not just sideways, just zig. What's the word we're calling it? Why can't you think of that? Something, whipsaw action. Whipsaw action. Shout out to everyone here tonight. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. A little bit early. Try to do that on Sundays, 10 o'clock. Straga's in the house. DP's in the house. Glad to have you guys here. Straga! All right, so I've got some coins we need to take a look at. Definitely. Some that we may want to try to look at getting into, or you may. I don't know. I'm just going to present them. If they resonate with you, they resonate with you. If they don't, then they don't. That's just how I roll. We ain't all looking at the same thing, but gosh darn it, I got to get out of some of these. There are some that are a little bit hot. There are some of them that are getting into some juicy places. There's some that we probably need to take a look at. One that's been pumping lately has been a route. We were checking that out not long ago here. Saying, oh baby, oh, did you just dump on me? No wonder you're up today. Well, let's rephrase that. She ain't looking good at all. What the hell were you thinking? Clear, I'm not. You went up to $9 and you didn't tell me? Oh, I know I knew about it. Add it out. Okay, so this is the same situation we're looking at on Bitcoin right here. We lost it. She fell hard. Where can we pick this little baby up? She is in actually a good little buy zone. She dipped a little bit lower. She got down to $4.23 there. Can she reach 322? Yeah, she can. Stochastics are kind of up at the top there, getting ready to roll over. Some rejection here. That's the next place I'm looking at for. Gosh, that sucks. I'm so sorry. This is on the 4-hour chart. I want to zoom out here a little bit, just to the daily. Well, if she can go down there, we need to extend you down there. She came all the way back to the breakout. Ooh, if that one, that's odd to retest that. This guy is not holding. So let's get rid of that idea, not so we won't be confused. So route, what happened is that we started doing this megaphone pattern, and that typically is bearish. They are, but they're fun to play, man, because they can bounce off the walls on this, and it just gets higher and higher as they go. Until that one day that they go the other way and actually break to the downside. It should be about finished, quite honestly, right here. This looks really good on the daily. 200, 150. This is seriously the buy zone. It went below where I had it. Wick down, lots of, look at that sell pressure right there, just knocked it down to the ground. Let's see if we got any goodies here. Ooh, we got some hidden bullish divergence there, saying that this overall trend should continue. I don't like that we broke through the cloud, but she's not thick. She's still a little thin. Maybe we can bounce back through her. Hey, you off of my cloud. So route in an interesting place, especially if we can start getting back up to these territories around 957. So put that one on your radar. She did look like she was bouncing today. Look at CAT, C-A-T, not Caterpillar. It's not KuCoin, is it? Okay, well, maybe I'm confused on this one. It's not the one I thought it was. Here's another one that's on juicy sale, IronFish, that we've looked at. This one is a token metrics pick to be, you know, in the 100x category, quite possibly. She ran up to $4, started around round 2, and now we're all the way back. We're on severe discount here. Holders of this, like me, probably saying, what the hell was I thinking? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I've got to pull out a bear market strategy here. Swing low to swing high to swing down to $1.41 to our 1.27s. One of the most amazing little fibs I've ever come across. Such a cool little predictor of helping you find higher highs and lower lows. The 127 is your friend, but you can't forget about this 141 may come into play, so it's a backup plan. Just depending on how strong this move is and what might be going on there that we're just not paying attention to. Channel to the downside. And we stay in that channel until we don't. Looked like she was getting a partial decline here for a nice breakout, got some volume, and then it's gone, baby. If Bitcoin ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Another one to take a look at is FET Fetch.ai. I haven't found the place I wanted to add to my bags yet because I got my bags pretty cheap. I think my average entry price is somewhere around 19 cents. I got mine stored over on crypto.com, and I would like to build a bigger bag. So I'm looking for about 45 cents. I had to throw it out here. It doesn't look like we're going to reach it. Because, you know, it actually looks pretty healthy here on the daily chart with our moving averages. They look like they're making a strong move to the upside. But I have to mention it because it's just part of the pattern to go from the top. And sometimes you go down to the bottom. That's the name of the game. Unless you get an area partial decline. She may be working on it here, bouncing off that 100, but I'm looking for a 45 cent buy for me personally. If you want to come down there, I'm ready for you, baby. Hidden bullish divergence forming on the RSIs underneath here, indicating that the overall trend, higher highs and higher lows, should continue. Have not made a higher or a lower low. This was a low, so technically we're still good, even though we lost the trend line. Got to keep that in mind there. This is when Elliott Wave can kind of help you out a little bit, you know, even though he counts weird on this one, and I totally did not count that at, well, I guess, yeah, you have to, because your third wave needs to be your longest. All right, and then an ABC correction, yeah, something like that, and then we could possibly start a new. What that does actually is takes this little 5 wave. Once you complete a 1, 2, 3, 4, once you get your 5 waves in and you do your correction, once that is done, well, then we can look at this as being, oh, this is a 1, and this is a 2, meaning that a 3 is coming, which should be a huge move. So there's some good signs here with Fetch, especially if you're leaning a little bit toward Elliott Wave theory. We dabble with that. It's not my main go-to. I'm not an Elliott Wave trader, but, you know, I like to use it just to back up my ideas and just to make sure I'm not missing anything, because, you know, turning this into a 1 wave, a 2 wave, and then you got to have a big 3. Do you know where that's supposed to be? That target for that 3 wave would be right here, right at the top of the channel at $1.48. Your third wave usually hits around your 1618 Fibonacci. That's kind of where me and Elliott Wave kind of overlap with our fibs when they introduce fibs to the Fibonacci or to the Elliott Wave system, and I've got my little fib system, and there's a lot to overlap right there. Lots of confidence to say. We've had a trade set up for this one. Looking for this target up here at $1.65 for a minute. And if you in it, you in it to win it. I see no reason. There's some targets. If you're a short-term trader, 97 cents, $1.16. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm telling you about $1.50. Why not? How about a little retest and then another little bump up? Let's do it, baby. FET. But you come down to 45 cents, oh, I'm eating you up, baby. Come down to 27 cents, you know I'm gobbling you up. Najamoto Games. One of the best little bags that I ever got into, right? I mean, for what I put into this and how it did, just made me wish I'd bought more, and I felt like I was FOMOing in. I tell the story all the time. At 30, I bought between 29 and 31 cents right in this little area here, and just letting that little baby ride. Peeled off a little on the way, but I'm safe in my bag. I'm looking for a much bigger move. I'm seeing almost $3 out of Najamoto Games to come. Yeah. This looks to be a wave 3 if we're doing Elliott again. And a wave 4, this wave 3, I guess we count different, I count different. And a wave 5 would be next, so it's basically looking to see if we come up here. Elliott's saying 234. I look at it as, you know, if it doesn't get above here and we start doing an M pattern, well, then we're coming down. And yeah, that would be your 5-way. I think I'm starting to admire Elliott a little bit more, especially this part of the market, but still, it's hard to get them to agree. And it really does change it's very subjective in my opinion. And I think more time is spent arguing on whether something's a wave 1 or a 3 or what and this and that than it is actually just getting in there and trading. And that's why I just like Thomas Bukowski and the patterns. And for those of you who don't know, I follow Thomas Bukowski over at thebatternside.com. That's the rules that I play by, or try to play by as best that I can. And if you're looking for your textbook to learn how to master this market, any of his books, especially his encyclopedia on chart patterns, excellent. And his free site that I use all the time on this stream, thebatternside.com. We mentioned that over in our Telegram group, which is free. Links are in the description below. I didn't have time to put them in the chat. I may get to that a little bit later, but right now, let's talk about some charts. Talk about NAKA. Sitting down here at $1.46, man, looking like she's wanting to try to do something bullish. I'm on the daily chart, looking at the bigger picture. That's what I'm doing. Sure, I know stochastics are up there getting ready to roll over. I know. She might get a little pullback here. Rejecting off that 100 moving average could possibly bring her down to the 200 moving average around, bring her back around $1. Just saying, it's possible. But I'm seeing a little bit of bullish divergence forming here. It's making me think she may be getting ready to break to the upside. I want to check a few little things here. Bouncing off from this swing low to swing high. 618 Fibonacci giving us a dang good chance to come up here to the 414, my negative 414 target right here, or a measure move if you want to take that around 284. So I'm just kind of tighten that in just a little bit right here, about $2.84. That's where I'm looking forward to go. If she gets rejected here, then I'm looking at $1.15, possibly down to 95 or 89 at the lowest. That's a 618 fib from a different measurement. Aza believes us. But from going from around, I don't know, $1.50 up to $3 in that area, which you will eventually get up there to do that. Pretty awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this should have been a 4th wave and then a 5, and then that becomes a 1 after all the ABC correction crap, which it looks like this is what we're doing right now. ABC down, and then maybe start our little things. There's 5 little waves and a little wave up here that makes it. Every move up is supposed to have 5 waves, 3 humps and a dump. Hump, hump, hump. Oh, this is going down at 3 humps. What was it? We had 3 humps and a dump. What did we say the other night? It was catchy and it helped me remember it. Now I forgot it. 3 drops and a pop. Yeah, 3 drops and a pop. Satoshi VM, so promising. I really do like this one, and I'm trying to work on getting the airdrop. I need to go back and go on that test net again to play around. But I am in the red on this one, as she has just decided to go bearishly on me. She was not a trade, she was an accumulation. Therefore, I did not use stop losses, because I'm kind of in this one. I want to clear out these targets, although they may just come right back on us. Looking on the 4-hour, something positive on the 4-hour is that the 9 moving average crossed the 21, but we are under both the 9 and the 21. This is definitely having a little play to the downside there. Green cloud thin, red cloud coming in. What do we got positive to give us some hope here? Clearly, this one is going to have to go into accumulation phase, and I believe that's where we're headed now. I think it is a big well sold. That's what I'm hearing. So you get in these things early, and then you get your tokens unlocked, and then you just dump on everybody as soon as you make your money. And screw you guys! Ha! I got a yacht party. Got to buy a new yacht. Thank you very much. Got this little pattern forming right now. Remember, those are kind of fun to trade. Get a little bounce off the bottom. We can be coming up to $7. You better do it. SatoshiVM or Satoshi, whatever. Virtual machine. That's it. This is actually on Cosmos ecosystem, bridging Ethereum virtual machine over on Cosmos. That area, I think it's cool. No, I'm sorry, not on Cosmos. It's on Bitcoin. That's why I'm so bullish on it. It's on it's layer 2 for Bitcoin. I'm sorry. I didn't get enough sleep last night. But she is looking, she's looking rough. She's still looking rough. At $4 in that area, looks to be a juicy place to get it. She comes down to 3 something. Hey, I'll be buying. Doesn't mean you have to, though. Another one that's been taking a hit has been RUNE, but she's been coming up. She got down as low as what, 381. Juicy price to buy RUNE, I'm telling you. Look at those wicks, man. That is a bottom reversal if I've ever seen one right there. Off of higher highs, higher lows, breaking out of a trend line right here. RUNE, are you getting ready to do something, baby? Let's zoom up. That's the 1 hour chart. We got to zoom out. What are you up to, RUNE? Flagging after? Oh, I'm liking this. It's a dirty, dirty chart. I got to clean this thing up. I got too much stuff on here. I got fibs on fibs on fibs and marks on marks. Do we need to clear it up? Let's do it. Let's do it. This is what I look for. I want to mark my accumulation levels right there. We broke out of it. We're retesting it. That's a good sign to me. Breaking out of that, retesting it. We're headed toward this area, the 618,849. I don't even have to take measure moves or anything. You can. So I do put a target there because that's a very important one. That's where a lot of rejection can come in on that 618. Being under it is bearish, being above it is bullish. But a bounce off this area, that is awesome. If we pulled a fib to do it correctly, we're coming in at what, the 0.5, not quite the 618. We don't have to do the 618. We don't want to do the 618. We could, but we don't want to lose this 236 level unless we regain it. So is there a possibility to come to 334? Yeah, but I'm kind of doubting it. I think we're getting our bounces right here where we need them, but let's keep it in mind. Just saying, it's a possibility. 304, we'll color them a different color. Orange, might happen. But now this gives us another trend line right there, which is respecting very well. And if we got a nice little solid trend line, we probably have a nice little solid channel that we could try to identify. 2 touches there, maybe. That also gives us a little help to figure out where price might go because it goes to the top of the channels. So we can definitely target this area. $9.51. We can also, of course, target that 618 we talked about. $8.54. For a possible bounce down, possible little bounce down here. Now you might see this happen 2 or 3 times. 3 humps and a bump, or 3 humps and a drop. 3. Why were we saying it was so catchy? Now I can't think. It's 3 drops in a pop. 3 drops in a pop. 3 humps and a dump. That was it. 3 humps and a dump. I'm trying to get these little catchy sayings or something to make this stuff. I don't know if you get this idea stuck in your head 68% of the time. I'm seeing some, not a lot of them, just certain ones using that for almost every pattern that they have. It gets drilled in your brain. I know. I've been there. I was like, all these patterns aren't 68% of the time. Then you kind of dig deep when you really want, where is the real answers? And you find out it's Thomas Bukowski is where the real answers are. He actually he's a computer science nerd, retired and 35 years old or something from trading, and now he writes trading books and everything. But he did all the homework, statistics, back testing, all these patterns. I mean, he was a computer engineer, dude. You know how they think? You know how they talk? Yeah, you know how they draw things, you know how they analyze stuff. Yeah, he seriously analyzed all this stuff. And if you want the accurate statistics for breakouts and probabilities, that's where I'm going to refer you, man. And that's who I try to follow. I don't always have them committed to memory, but I'm right real close. And try to go back and brush up on them. So that's what I'm seeing for Rune. You better bounce, Rune. You know I'm talking to you. There's some bullish divergence there. Swing low or low to high here on the underside. We measure bullish divergence on the underside. If we got it going up on the price action, but if we come over to our indicators, notably the best one that works for this, in my personal opinion, the strongest one, is the RSI. That's why I have the RSI. And for that same price action, we have it low to lower low. So it's doing just the opposite. That's where it diverges. So we got going up, we got going down. That gives us this little guy right here that I'm going to try not to leave up there. No, that's not you. The divergence. That's the one on the bottom left there. Hidden bullish divergence. Kind of a left side of a marquee diamond shape. That's what we're looking at. I used to be a diamond slinger. What's up in the chat, DP? We got goated. Goated said there was some fear with Route because the team announced that they will change tokenomics. They gave a proposal either to make the supply 30 million or 27 the next 5 years. Huh. I don't like when people change the game plan. I really don't. I mean, sometimes it's necessary because they started out with a funky game plan. Like if you put too many coins in your game plan and then you got to start burning them just so you can survive. I mean, yeah, some faulty planning. Or I don't know. When projects start switching directions, it really makes me have to take a look. Now, sometimes, yeah, maybe they learned something, but sometimes you just feel like, oh, well, if we played that one for all it was worth, let's come out with a new scheme. And that's kind of how I was feeling toward Helium with their miners and how that kind of just fell apart. And some other people are starting to pick up what they originally started with, but they actually did go off in a cool direction that looks like it's actually going with their partnerships that they got with T-Mobile and all that. It's looking really legit. So I'm showing a little bit more respect for them now. Although the HNT is token, as far as I can tell, has no real use. I think it's switched over to IO2 now, which should do kind of cool. I want to take a look at VeChain. I think this is one that everybody should have a little bit buying on the bottoms in your wallet. If you don't buy it in the bottoms, then pass. But it's still in the bottoms. It's still in a juicy price to accumulate this little guy. When you zoom out, it's an OG coin, man, but I'm telling you, and they have been working. They're doing some stuff. They got a game plan. They've been around for a while. They're going to be around for a while. Blockchain, supply chain, very big over in the Asia area. So what do we got going on here, VeChain? Let's take our fib here, identify our accumulation levels. Boom shakalaka. Which I'm gonna get that one right there, mark it, get rid of that fib now. So we're still in accumulation, didn't quite make it above it. We got that 200 moving average, you know, had the 100 cross it, that's bearish. So we're doing a little down and sideways, but we're making ground. We're starting to flip these support resistance areas. So this trend line here holds, we can get a bounce back up there. And then we got to deal with this trend line, which will probably be a lot of resistance for us, somewhere around 5 cents. But we're sitting around 2.8, and by the time we get up to about 5.5 cents, we're looking at, you know, 100% return. 2x in your bags. I mean, if you're getting in, I mean, I was like, oh, we're down to like under 2 cents. Hell yeah, load up, baby. VeChain 28 cents. That's just a 10x. This one can do some serious damage. And I do have this. I've got her I think I have her over staking on a wallet that I don't even notice her. But actually, I'm looking at this one to be a big performer for me. And she's even up now where she is, under 3 cents. Just a nice one. I like to keep on my radar. I'm not seeing anything just outstanding right now. She's still going to struggle through all this. We're probably, got some of this stuff. She's looking really similar to this over here, though. What if you want to play? Watch this little trick. Watch this little trick. Let's go here. Take the old fractal. Looks like we got to shrink it down, maybe. Do we have to shrink it down? Ooh. Let's get her in there somewhere. Something similar. Might we look at something like that? It does kind of fit. Support resistance flip right here at that same area. Don't. Maybe. I think I'll leave that there. Fractals don't play out perfectly, but they can, they can give you some clues, and then eventually they fall apart. So, but interesting for VeChain. Just saying. I mean, if you're going to look at a place to, wouldn't that be the coolest place to get in? Is down here on retest. VeChain. Hey, Sam is in the house. How's it going, Sam? Does JUNO look good? JUNO was a hot project last cycle, and it made some prices. I think I remember seeing it around $80, but then there was something that happened. I can't remember if it was an exploit, but I think that it was on Cosmos ecosystem. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, the chain works good. Every Cosmos ecosystem chain works good. They just execute flawless and smooth, just like Binance Smart Chain and all that. It's just smooth. And then I don't remember all the news on it and everything, but it tanked it. Some kind of exploit, I thought. I think they were headed toward gaming and NFTs. That seems to be the strongest thing over there, and they're doing a lot of airdrops over there on JUNO too. Let's take I'm trying to find something that's, we can't beat that, but this is the Osmosis Dex, which they should have the full price history on JUNO. Okay, so according to Osmosis, it got up to about $45. Let's take a look at the tokenomics and everything on JUNO. It was really, really hot. I mean, everybody likes this. 20, oh look. That is an awesome price. 36 cents right now, and it got up to 40 something dollars. Can it do it again? They got Cosmos ecosystem has some of the best reputable. The devs over there have the hardest working reputation. They have a solid reputation. They are. It's a good chain. I like it. There are other good chains too. Not knocking anybody else. I just happen to be a little bit more heavy over there. It just kind of graduated and kept growing by itself. So if it wants to grow up and be a giant from a little seed, I'm not going to stop it. Let it roll. Mine all started with the Osmosis airdrop. If it wasn't for that, I would not be, I'd probably still have 30 atoms staking. Because that's what I started out with, was 30 atoms staking. Got me that Osmosis airdrop, and we just been on a roll since. Market cap 28 million. Maximum supply is 185 million. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And all-time high, we're down 99%. I mean, and some people picked this up at 12 cents 5 months ago, and they are up 200x or 200%, right? Let's take a visit at the website here, the incubator of the interchain. Watch how it works. Smart contracts times community, quick start guide, and okay, yeah, build something that's easy to build on JUNO and place interchain project, skip to speed, okay. Ecosystem updates. Version 1.20 is up for testing for the, what is it, the bridge, JUNO bridge? Apps on JUNO. This is not really giving me a breakdown like I really wanted to have on it. I think I'm just going to go over to built with Cosmos and Web3. Built on, this is more for your developers, I think, to read this part right here. It's a little bit of the ecosystem here. A lot toward the NFTs and for gaming, from what I understand. And AI, we're doing a little AI over stuff over there too, I think. I think it's got a future. I think the devs will bring it back. I think it's worth being in. I'm still in it. I haven't, I've still got mine over there staking. And we're just looking at a big accumulation here. And basically the easiest way to look at this, draw that fib, man. Tighten her up to the last swing high to the last bottom, 236. When you break out of that, you know that you're headed up. It's the easiest way I can explain. Keep this simple rules. Don't have to make this all complicated. When you know you get past there at $1.52, you know it's the accumulation is over, and then we're in market phase with higher highs and higher lows. So for anything, that's the best strategy that I can tell you to employ right now, is that simple little trick to figure that one thing out. Is this coin still in accumulation? Ideally, I mean, overall, you want to take the big move in consideration. This one has a huge move, huge. And from that, we could say technically anything under $10 is still accumulation. But we kind of want to localize it. We'll just take the last high. Go with that one. Go with that 236 on there. $1.50. If you want to get picky, you could go with this high. Do the same thing. This is all proportion and ratio, and it will tell you the same thing. So for the last, what was that, January 23? So for the last 1 year, this was the targeted accumulation level, which we just now broke below. That's not really the greatest sign. It's really not. It's not. So let's take a look how I'm looking at this in the market, seeing that this is accumulation. We had a nice little rounded shape here. We came up, we lost that. We've got a good chance for this to be a repeat of that symmetrical shape right there. Well, I was looking at this rounded accumulation thing. Well, now we're getting kind of more into something. I hate messing with those things. The area curve. Now it's going to be something a little bit more like this. This accumulation is going to continue. And I think that might actually play out. I have to see how well I drew that and if it sticks with the price line. Fairly well. All right, so now we're working on a double bottom. This is our butt crack. I think of this as being Bart Simpson's butt crack. So I draw yellow most of the time. And seeing that we've lost our 9 and our 21 measure move, got rejected off the 50. I'm here on the weekly time frame. This is the huge time frame. This is the boss one, and he says we're coming down. So yeah, you're going to get a pullback on JUNO and some other altcoins. I'm seeing some pullbacks on some other altcoins too. That's like making me wonder what is really going on in this market. So our last low here was around, are you? I doubt that you go all that way to 12 cents, but it's possible. Might come down and retest that area. She might. Guess we want to finesse it just a little bit. 786 and 886 retracement areas are good targets to start building a back. So imagine getting in at these prices on this project. If you like this project, I mean, go check out the website, research, see what they're about. They did do very well before. They were the bee's knees until an exploit is the best I can remember. But I think the team has got, you know, they seem to have things in order and try to make a comeback. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I kind of think they got a good shot of it. Double bottom. We come back and confirm right up here 83 cents, and then there would be a measured move, which is this, and it basically brings us up to the 236 area. $1.50 is where we're going to for a target. If you're just playing it short term or whatever, it might take it a while to get there, but that's the target that's worthwhile waiting for. It's got to go there. It's got to, and it's got to get above it. Got to, just like it's got to do the same thing right over here. So a little downside for it because it's still in accumulation. It'll take this one a while, but at some point she will take off, and man, there's no resistance on this move. I mean, she can reclaim all this ground really quick. So, I mean, there's a lottery ticket play. There's definitely some X's to be had right there. From where we are now at about 36 cents up to $40 if it can do it again. Cody says, I still think Route is the best cross chain, and it will be huge next bull run. They still have really good fundamentals, in my opinion. It was Coinmetrics that turned me on to them. That's why I started messing with them. And yeah, I think they. How were you rated over there? Router Protocol. It was one of their picks, I believe. Strong sell on the trading side right now. Investor side, it says, is buy time. Fundamental grade 68%. Yeah, it's got a good grade. Technology grade 63%. Doesn't have a valuation grade. So yeah, I like it. I've been trying to nibble and build a little bag for not actually actively trading. I'm not really. Most of my trading needs are met with just doing all these little perpetual trades and all that. Everything else, my Degen accounts and all that, I'm basically just trying to build little bags and moon bag them. That's my whole strategy right now. At this bottom of the game, especially on some of these coins that are still in accumulation like this, getting them really cheap, you know, whatever, $100, $500, $1,000, whatever you put in there. I mean, you can pull that out really soon and just let this baby ride. And you got 18 months to see this thing skyrocket and go to the moon, and you have no risk whatsoever. And technically, you've not created a taxable event because you hadn't made any profit. You only pulled out your investment. Yeah. Repeat that in your head a few times. Let that kind of start clicking, and then compare that to day trading strategies where you're cashing out at 4 or 5% and then having a 40% taxable event on that trade. Just think about it. Why do the longer time people make more of the money? Longer term people don't have to pay all those taxes, for one thing. You get the tax breaks. So I do like to kind of structure things that I will have for at least a year or more that I'm really serious about, the ones I'm really serious about and really like it. All right, so big time. I think we looked at this one last night. Did we come into anything? Yeah, we did. Okay. It's coming down, and then, yeah, okay, we talked. I think we pretty much settled out that one. Big time. Big time on the weekly chart just looks a mess under the 9-moving average. It's got falling price, falling volume. That's good. That means this downward pressure is starting to dry up. The push to the downside is starting to lighten up. No more wicks. See the big wicks? Yeah, all that. Well, that was buying pressure. That's actually good to help build the price up. Not seeing it so much here yet, but I'm not seeing the top wicks pushing it down either. 3-day sucks. Anything below the 9-moving average, in my opinion, I'm going to say it sucks because you're clearly in a downtrend. You regain the 9-moving average on whatever time frame that you're playing, and that's positive. You've got a shot to be on an upward trend. It is the trend. What's the word for it? validator, I guess you would say. What's this trend line doing? Ah, you flipping? Looks like we flipped it for support. That's a good sign. That's kind of cool. Big Time, you going to do something again? What was so special about you, Big Time? I think you're a game and play. Were you proof of work something or another? I need to find out. I have to remember why I was bullish on Big Time, because I forgot. For this, I like to go to a coin market cap. Big Time baby. Refresh these tokenomics. $135 million market cap. You're a small cap, but you know, you're about 100 million over where I'd really like to catch you to get in and make a good bag, good size bag. 5 billion total supply. 5 billion maximum supply. 384 million circulating supply. That's some issues right there. Between its fully diluted market cap is 1.7 billion. Almost 10 times what it is. Big Time preseason launch. Download the game about the game economy, so it is a game. Studio team careers, open loop. Discover new adventure, synthesis, craft, and find the collectible. Okay, so we're just a game thing. See, this is my thing about games, though. I mean, I know it's a hot niche and that's it, but I mean, games are only fun as long as they're played and they're doing something. I see some other sectors actually contributing to crypto and changing things, and those are the ones I'm really wanting to focus a lot of my money on, because the game things, I mean, it's hot and then it's not, and that's cool. That's part of the game in crypto, buying the hype and yeah, but the gaming, in my opinion, it gets risky, and you definitely never want to hold a gaming token during the bear market. Just don't. You're kissing all that money goodbye, even if you lost, you know, 80% at the time. You know, as we're going into a bear market, just know, even selling there and watching it get down to the depths of the bear market, you saved yourself money then, even though you lost a bunch. Unless you just want to ride the roller coaster. Some people enjoy that. They really don't, but you can enjoy that. I want to put money in here and just watch it turn into nothing. You do the opposite, put a little bit in and watch it turn into a lot. So that's what we're trying to do. Nice little retracement. I like what I'm seeing here. So I'm playing this one. I've got a little bags of it and everything. Will I hold this one full turn? No, it's a gaming coin. No. But I am working with it on something kind of short, mid-termy hold, I guess, because I've had it for definitely longer than a week. So I guess it's a little bit more than most swing trades. I will call it, I guess. I need to go back up to $1. That would make me happy. It'd make me happier if you go. Let's get a target for you. I'm looking for 120. New higher high right there. And it is a zone. I want to give out a shout out to one of my admins over here on the Road Dog Crypto Telegram channel we got. It's a free channel. It's a private channel, but it's free. I got to update Telegram. Yay. Over in the trade, is that what we're calling it? Oh gosh darn, I got to spread this out. No, I don't. Spread it out. Under the chart room area, in the trade setup. Shout out to Chris over there, man. Making some cool calls. He posted, said, I missed the tape profit by $1. His measure move or whatever. Or missed it by the $1. It happens. It's a zone. But man, Get within $1 on your targets. Excellent. Excellent. So Chris has been putting out some charts over there. He's been definitely filling in the lack for me, because I've not just been posting charts over. I need to get back into that, and I apologize for not doing that. But Chris has been definitely taking the lead over there. I wish I had a way to tip, for people to tip my admins over there, just because Chris doesn't get any. I don't get anything from this either, but you know. I just appreciate the community that's over there that's been sticking with me and taking advantage of the free resources that I've got over there for you guys to learn how to trade and work this market. I want to get a good community of people just helping each other out, keeping people in the loop, you know, just a nice little tight community without all the bots and shills and all that stuff coming in. And we have not had a problem with that. Maybe because it's a private group and I'm still a very small channel. So we're blessed on that aspect. There's also an awesome AI chatbot over there from CoinTrends. Shout out to CoinTrends. We got the professional one. I'm paying for that thing. It will tell you all kinds of stuff. The guys over at CoinTrends Ninja, he is adding to that all the time, always adding new features and everything. It will analyze charts. It is over in the lounge section, the main section, where all the cool kids, the Road Dog Lounge. And I see that Anna's been over there just using it. Also, I forgot I had some other wallets that I had some Solana stored on, so I had to plug them in and go claim that wind drop before it's over. Claim it over at Jupiter Dex on Solana. Checking back with the jazz. What's going on, DP? Sam Webb says, thanks, dog. I learned a lot from you. Good, because that's what I want. We're basically, I started out as a teaching channel doing the little chart videos and stuff. Nobody wants to watch those. I mean, just say that. Everybody wants price predictions, and, you know, they're kind of cool watching charts, and I'm cool with that too. I kind of like this format, just to be honest with you. I like to come in, look at charts, talk about what's hot, what's new, and, you know, keep track of it every day. It's just easier that way. The videos, they're cool. They can be fun to make, but it takes a segment of me away from the market and delayed, you know, and I got people looking at videos that I put out 4 or 5 months ago, and I'm wondering, why are you watching this? It's not even relevant now. But I'm not complaining. Trigger says, I lost 99%. What? Say it ain't so, Trigger. LOL. Hey, welcome to stream. Solana is going to $160 after Jupiter airdrops. Solana's got a good future. It's definitely got the hype and the everything behind it, and especially from the bigger money, the VC money, the more institutional money. The more I look at this, I mean, it just looks like there was like they brought back. All right, Solana, right? Let's talk about Solana. Who was the biggest proponent of Solana? Alameda Research. In there. Bateman-Fried, FTX, all that mess over there. All those meetings with Gary Gensler, all these little shady things that, you know, we still get some of them coming out, but there was a lot of things going on there. The thing was, FTX was supposed to be an institutional platform, more for institutions, to help usher in institutions. Sam Bateman-Fried was going for this whole bit license thing out of New York, making himself look like he was just, you know, the guy in crypto with the plan. He knows it. You listen to him talk and you realize from the interviews I saw with him, he's not a crypto dude at all. At all. TradFi maybe, whatever, but crypto, nuh-uh. You could tell that just by the way how he answered questions and what questions he answered. He wasn't, and he definitely wasn't with the movement. And so my theory is that the big money, the players in Wall Street, they have been wanting crypto for the long time. They have to get it in. The best way for them to do that is the security route. that pulls crypto into them. Well, Wall Street. The developers were just a little bit freaking smarter than you. Satoshi was just a little bit freaking smarter than you and designed this to where it cannot cross over to your freaking system. You're not going to let it do it. They're still trying. That's why everything's moving more toward proof of stake. They love proof of stake because they can get their fingers in proof of stake. That's why proof of work will always, in my personal opinion, be the strongest, most decentralized, best way to play this. So we got people putting into Solana, FTX. We're moving this over. That's where they're wanting to go. In my personal opinion, lots of fingers in on the Solana ecosystem. I may be totally wrong, but I don't think so. There's an agenda, a plan, and that was it. Didn't quite work out the way they want, and thank God the judges are on our side because they've just still been pushing that agenda from everywhere. But the whole thing, in my personal opinion, was to get, if you make it all a security, then you got it. And then the SEC picking the winners and losers. And then all the corruption behind it as they just try to get their fingers in and take over the market that they're not going to get to. They're trying to openly screw us. All right, that's my little rant about it. There's probably more that I haven't mentioned, but no need to. Or it's putting on the hat. Yeah, I didn't deserve that one. Gotta have a tinfoil hat around here. I'm looking at Pond. P-O-N-D. I'm trying to figure out if this is one that I want to play with or not. I don't know. I've had it before, been in it before. I don't think I have any now. Boom. Ow. Now I'm on the daily chart. Looks like yesterday. So Chris, I don't know if you're going to see this video or not, but look how close that one came to that measure move and didn't hit it. Just right there. They can get so close. When we put out measure moves, or when you're taking Fibonacci measurements and all that, it's very important. You're not going by the exact price that we put up here or whatever's on there. That will be different every time you draw a line. That will be different every time somebody else draws a line. It's a zone. It's a zone. So you take a measure move and your price gets right up there to it, you still nailed it. You still nailed it. You came closer than anybody else would have come to as far as a target. It's just how you play it, how you execute it. You can get your targets. Okay, so 0.0197 was it to the T. And I can put a limit order there and hope it hits. Or I could put a couple of limit orders strategically placed in like a little cloud, a little zone around there. And if I'm taking this seriously, taking this trade seriously, that's what I'm going to do. Especially if it's a bigger play for me or something like that. I'm definitely playing it that way. I'm trying to find my little rectangle, but I'm not. I'm about to give up on it. So measure moves or even your Fibonacci lines and all that, you got to treat them as a zone. Give them a little buffer on both sides there. Because that's what it really is. There's nothing, it's not absolute concrete, but it is cool. A lot of times you will see the measure moves work out where it will just sometimes to the dollar, sometimes to the, you know, I mean, but I think the mistake is to get used to seeing that happen so much that you think, oh yeah. It doesn't always, but it happens a lot enough that you can get a little overconfident in those measure moves about where they might hit. That's how cool a measure move is. If you do it correctly, if you do it right, you're not trying to bend the rules and go by something crazy. I mean, follow what Thomas Bukowski says. You'll be fine. So we're doing something cool here. Trend line broke it. And now we're leg riding it. Well, these little leg riders. This is where I'm starting to like Elliott Wave a little bit more to help me kind of figure situations like this out. And that's why I kind of like to use that. Because now we've got our run up, right? Now, depending on how you count, 1, 2, 3, that could be a 3, 4, and this could be our 5. Could be. What do you say? Let's turn on the indicator. Indicator's kind of fun. You can get that on TradingView too. It's saying no. He's counting way back here. The biggest rules are that your 1, 2, 3, 4. Your 4 they can't overlap. So I'm cool with that, with what I drew. I mean, it works. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of a steep 4. This could be our 5, but it should. Our target, 1, 2, well, we already did the 3. The 5 is the one that's kind of iffy. We may be coming up here for a double top. I'm going to say that just by Elliot. Or she could do a little bit ABC come down. And then this could be just a big 01 for another move up. Biggest thing I got to say is that pattern wise, if we zoom out and just apply our patterns ideas, this is what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it can come all the way up here, baby. Go for it. Shoot, yeah. So there's possibility to come up and reach the top of these areas right up here. That would be cool. And that's at our 1414 and our 1272. We can definitely put some targets there. 20 cents, 21, or 2 cents and 2.1 cents, almost 2.2 cents. Oh, what, the daily chart here? She's a nice uptrend above the 9. I can't say anything about her, bad about her right now. Stochastics are kind of pinned to the top, but hey, man, they do that. There is some bearish divergence starting to form, so I do believe that as you know, the Elliott Wave 5, this will be our last move to the upside before we do some kind of correction. And then maybe, you know, see where it goes from there. There's some bullish divergence that will give us this big move to the up, so I expect seeing that. Is that hidden? That's hidden. We should reach the top of this channel though for pawn. I can't even remember what pawn does. Was that what I had, or was it Marlin pawn? Okay. This guy's got 10 billion. Maximum supply, total supply is 5 billion. Circling supply is 8 billion. Okay, if that's not confusing. $142 million market cap, still a small cap. I'm on the side that doesn't tell me what it does, so now I've got to go to the website. Trustless coprocessors for limited compute. The GPU for on-chain execution, interesting play. That'll be necessary. Will it be the biggest mover, the biggest sector? Well, no, because your storage and computes aren't usually, but now they're starting to have more of a purpose since AI is coming in, and we need that. We need that compute power and also the graphics processing, because a lot of AI does work with graphics too. Seems to be a big use of it. So graphics card for the processing, not just for the AI, but also for, you know, everything else, as well as the graphic use. So kind of cool. There's several places. Render does this. There's several places that do this. Marlin's just another one. Okay, had to refresh that because I already forgot what this thing did. It's looking good. Looks like we came out of an accumulation zone flagged above it, and then our next accumulation zone. This is a 272, that's why I got it red. That means we got to go 2.9 cents right at 3 cents, and we got to break above it. Once it breaks above that one, man, it's what is all this crap? Now I'm getting too many red lines. That's making me freak out. All right, so pond. Tectum, I likes it. Boy, man. And is this the... I remember seeing this one so low and being iffy about it. But I did get it and I got my bags, and I'm glad I'm in it and everything. What the hell? Oh, you're... Make sure I'm... What? I know Tectum is not $5. Tell me it's not $5 because I just looked at it in the 20s. Teshin, are you serious? Okay, I was about to say, man, I'm pretty sure I looked at that before the stream and I'm like, what? I crossed another universe again. Hate when that happens. Who's president this time? Oh, shh. Tectum looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going for a 5. We're in a 4 wave. We're going for a 5er. She got some more upside. Look at that. Why? Look at that. channel, broke to that channel, went parabolic, parabolical. Swing low to swing high. Where are you coming down to, huh? She's finding support on the 0.5, which for a big strong move like this is put it on the weekly. See, it was just a boom, straight up moves like that by Dow theory. Come back to the 0.5 50% mark. It's not a Fibonacci, but we got it on there just because of Charles Dow and his theory. Can still come back to the 618. Don't get it twisted. But a lot of times they may just kick off from here. So this could be reversal right here at this current area. Possible it's above the 9 moving average on the daily, so I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. That's quite an accomplishment. That means that you are officially bullish on the short term for a run to the upside. If you are above the 9 moving average, that's run time. If you're above the 9s and holding the 9s, yeah, that's what we want. I'm surprised more people don't use the 9 moving average. Well, you lost your 21, so it's not over. We gained the 9. It's how these two act on each other that really tell me a lot about what's going on. Very important. I need to see how the 9 and the 21 react. I'm constantly looking at those two together, and that helps me out short term to figure out which way things are going. And then it just applies to whatever time frame that I'm on. Larger time frames always rule the roost, man. They always do. They have the most say. They are the generals in this fight. The 1 minute is the peon. And I see people predicting where Bitcoin's going to go based on the 1 minute. And I mean, yeah, you can short term, but if your bigger time frames are saying, hey man, this just crossed, it's headed down, and you're on the 1 minute saying we're going to $52,000. Bigger time frame is going to make you look like an idiot. I see that sometimes on YouTube. I've done it before too. It's a lesson you kind of got to get in your head. Always respect the bigger time frames. There is a point on the smaller ones when you can actually see the turnaround. I think I hear some people talk about that, and they think that's the magical thing of figuring out when the market's going to. You can nail it. You just snipe in on it, and you can actually see things turn around. And on the Telegram in our student chart area, we've got a bottom. I can't remember which one it was, but we actually documented, when that was going. We're trading on the minute, just looking, applying fibs, and this is a reversal. Oh dang, we caught it. I think it was me and Donna doing that. So she looks good, and we did pull a fib, right? That's a 0.5, right? You're forgetting everything, aren't you? I'm still going to look for this move right up here, about this 0.27. About $56 is what I'm looking for there. But let's not forget this previous high that it had. It's got to get past that, and we're getting to the point in the market we may start seeing some M patterns, and since this is a wave 4, if we're doing Elliott, that could come into play. Looks like I gotta learn Elliott wave now? No, not at all. Not at all. But I mean, understanding the basic principles behind it, which is not hard if you just know those little basics about it, it can help you out. I don't trade. I think it's funny because I watch people like cryptos. I don't know. I'm not going to name them. The people that use it, but they spend more time. Oh, come back here, and it's like I never see them actually trade or based off or anything, or say enter here, take profit here, or it's always, well, it could do this, or it could come down here, or we could come. It's always I don't know. It's not solid. It's not solid enough for me. But the patterns are, because you got a trend line. You got a line in the sand to tell you when to get out or when to get in. And I like that. And you got a measure move that tells you, hey man, price is going to go here. And it does. It's so much easier to do that, but you can use them both together. And sometimes Elliott will show you something like, hey man, we're getting ready to reverse here, or this might be a reversal area that you want to, instead of looking at this as being a flag to the moon, we're going to 50,000. You might be double topping here and making them patterns. So we got some things we got to look at. And that's how I kind of use it. And if you guys are interested in hearing more about that, I can talk more about it, but I don't want to keep going over the same things and boring people. So I'm sick. I don't even like LA Wave. Shut up about LA Wave. Go something else. Did we look at Joe? I meant to look at Joe. Did we look at Joe? I've been buying some Joe. I bought some since Joe's at 48 cents. I just bought some right before the show. Because I've lost my exposure to Joe, and I think they're doing something different, and I think there's like some kind of incentives now for holding Joe. Maybe they're distributing. Will that make it a security? Oh, screw you, man. Listen, man, if a project can find a way to take gas fees to make it profitable and then distribute it back to the network holders, that is beautiful. And if you can do it decentralized in a decentralized manner, how the hell is that security? They may do the same thing. They may mimic the same way. They just found a decentralized way to do it. I don't know. Lots of things need to be answered here, but I tell you what, to be in this world and to be what was supposed to be the freest country ever, there are a lot of restrictions on people in the United Socialist States of America. I'm so glad to see that people are starting to wake up, though, just in time for this year, 2024 election year, which always good for the markets. If you're feeling bearish, remember, it's an election year. And they're starting to realize, hey, man, crypto's going to be a big issue, or a more important issue. It could be the straw that breaks the camel back. I don't think they realize just how big this crypto movement is. I really don't. It's the people's money. I like what I'm seeing here on Joe, bouncing off the 200 moving average. Not really bouncing off of it. It never came back to it to touch it. Trying to break above that 100. The big things it's got going for it. It's 5 moving average strategy. I use that here on the channel. A 200 moving average. She's going up. I mean, she's not pointing down, right? That's where the heavy weight is. When you lose that, you're bearish, whatever time frame that you're on. You never want to be below the 200 moving average. We've got the 100 right above it, where it should be, and it's going up and to the right. 50 up and to the right, curving over a little bit. So, we got some, well, look what happened when you curve down too. But it's still lined up, going the direction it needs to go. The momentum is going that way now. That is what I'm trying to say. They have flipped. They have crossed. They have flipped bullish. They were heading down. Now they flipped to the upside. We're getting a bounce off a trend line. It's looking good. You could look at this as being a bear trap. This was an important line. We broke that bear trap, shot up. Preach that all the time on this channel, man. On pattern trading, we are keeping our eyes out for bear traps and bull traps, because we know as soon as they come back in that pattern, if they retest it, that is some of the biggest gains and quickest money we can make right there. And now it's retesting that and getting ready to go to the top of this pattern to test it. And that's going to be somewhere around $1. Joe? Is it a cup and handle? Somebody says it's a cup and handle. Is it a cup and handle? It could be a cup and handle because price rises into it. Price has to rise into a cup and handle. And it also leveled out around a lip line. So yeah, if this has not pulled back more than 66% of the way, 2/3 of the way back, we're still good. Has it? Well, take a fib. Has it? We haven't broke the 618. That's the easy way to do this. So if you're looking at a cup and handle, because my gosh, there's a lot of people just calling just about anything a freaking cup and handle. If it curves and has a flag, it's a cup and handle. Well, then why did O'Neill write a whole dang book about it? Or devote whole sections to this one pattern that he noticed. If it plays out over weeks and weeks, it's supposed to be a long-term pattern for the ones that play out the best. I never can find my little drawing tool. Where are you? So price rose up to it. Curving, mostly curving, lots of round. We don't like the pointies. Jagged ones, you see jagged ones, stay away from them. I see people calling that, it's a carpet handle. I'm like, yeah, you're going to regret that. Sure enough. And it should not come back more than 2/3 of the way. And a good way, you would usually see a resistance area right here. Somewhere, there'll be some point that'll come, like a butt crack or something like that. They'll give you a little high there that you got to get above. It shouldn't really come back past that area too much. If it does, that's a good sign. It's probably not going to play out. Probably getting a little bit too low, but yeah, technically this one is making a cup and handle. You don't see me do this too much because now the measure move for a cup and handle, you will see them played out this way, and let me explain why. A lot of people will take, or some of the people on YouTube right now are taking this cup and handle to the upside. And all you're doing is playing a flag. You are playing a flag. You're treating this as a flag, whether it is or not, whether it came back down too low, whether it's going to come back and do a double bottom. I mean, you're playing that. That's what that measure move is doing. And you can, but the real way to do a cup and handle measure move is to go from the neckline. You establish that. Right? Just go ahead and draw your line out there. And then you come to the middle of that line and you just go straight down to the bottom. Now you put that line up here on top of that, just like you do with a double bottom. If this one played out as a double bottom, we'd be doing the same exact measurement. Same thing. It's a 1-to-1 move that would take us up here to 786 Fibonacci here, 128 for a cup and handle if it plays out. Now, the technical way to play a cup and handle, the Degen method, was to jump in on the handle bottoms, and that's what I do. So I'm looking at Joe. That's why I bought today. This is a great time to buy. Degen, get in low, and it could go against me, but my probabilities are higher buying here than it won't. Tighter stop losses if I were doing stop loss. I'm accumulating. 48 cents is good price for Joe. It will move. But if you just counted on it coming up to here, and some of these guys I see, they can't even stay in a trade, man. It gets up just a little bit. Just time to get out. I want to have my profit and leave. I'm like, dude, man, you set a trade up. You set a trade up. If you do this, if you go over, where are those guys? These little trade setup guys. These long positions right here. When you draw these things and you got your target, find a decent place to put a stop loss. Be cool with it. Let the trade play out. I can't tell you how many people I see on YouTube trying to be the man, trading live or something, and you see them and they get scared or they're out quick. They want to quit and profit. They want to quit in the green. So we're making the money here on this channel. And it's just crazy. And I'm like, I never know what they're doing. It's like every day I watch them, I'm like, how did that trade play? No mention of it. I'm in a new trade. A new trade. I mean, I'm like, what happened? Did that your other one hadn't even bit? So the rules for trading is to get the plan, figure it out, get your entries. So if we were doing like this, the safe way would be wait for a breakout of this trend line. So if I were looking for that, that would be my idea. A stop loss that I can deal with. This one's 22%, and that's just out insane. I don't care if the risk reward is almost 4 to 1. 22%, that's too damn much. On spot, especially. And if you try this on leverage, well, there's a lesson that's going to explain itself to you very rudely that hey, I put a stop loss, but I got liquidated. What happened? Yeah. They don't quite spell that out, do they? So you can put some decent stop losses. It depends on what time frame you trade this on. Bigger time frames, I likes. But anyway, you put a trade in, right? Put your orders in, whatever. If you go, once you're in, just let it ride. Just let it ride. If you were wrong, okay. There are places up here, yeah, you want to pull yourself, but why would you close your whole trade when you're up 3%? Why? Why, if you go in the red and you got a stop loss here that you say, this is how much I'm willing to lose. Okay. Why are you checking it out as soon as it goes in the red, man? Because I see them get out of trades sometimes and it never hits their stop loss. If they'd stayed in it, just let the trade ride, it would have worked out. But I don't know. I see them do that. And then you have to couple that with some of the claims that they got. It just doesn't match up sometimes. Maybe I'm just being too picky. But it irritates me because I see information get out to the people that are new. And when you come into YouTube and you start watching people on the screen going over all this stuff and talking about crypto, and yeah, you can get passionate about it, and that might be misinterpreted, but there's also that there's the shills, there's the stuff going behind that could be going on. I don't believe in any of that stuff, but there can be. And then when it comes to things like this, if you're selling a paid trading group and stuff like that, I think that you should definitely be a little bit more picky in what you teach, if you're charging people especially. But there just needs to be some accurate information, and sometimes I just see people take a lot of liberty with, some of the things that, the way that they should be, the right ways to do them, the best ways. And that's why I just like to point everybody over to Thomas Pikowski, because that's the GOAT. You want the real deal, the percentages, the likelihood, the probabilities that these patterns are going to break out. He's got this index that will just, you go there, you learn as you go. What's this? It's a wedge pattern. Okay, well, we'll get that one down. We go down to falling wedge. Go down to wedge. Look at falling. And you see that you got some great statistics here, man. The breakout for a falling wedge can be in any direction, but it's usually upwards 68% of the time. They got so used to explaining this on the falling wedge, they start using that percentage for everything, and it's not right. I'm just telling you. Breaks up 68%, not breaks down 68%. No, it doesn't. It breaks down 60% of the time. 60% chance. It depends on also whether you're in a bull market or bear market for some of these, whether they play out stronger in a bull market and some of them play out stronger in a bear market. They're bullish and bearish patterns, little things like that. Pullback rates, man. This is what gets me. This is what gets me, because very few of them. Well, I'm not going to say very few. I want to say some of them are getting a lot of attention as, well, anyway. I say we'll get a breakout and go to the upside. And then all of a sudden it's forgot that there's a 62% chance you'll come right back here and retest that. And all I see is, oh, we got a flag going to the upside. Oh, here's another flag to the upside. I'm like, you remember that retest, right? Oh, we're losing it. Oh. Like, you remember that retest, right? We're probably going to bounce off of there. And it's like, 5 days later, they'll finally figure, we came back down here and I don't know. Sticking with the bigger time frames will help you kind of figure things out. Just using the basic concepts, 5 moving averages, the strategies, Fibonacci's help you out a lot. Just your basic trend lines and support resistance areas, if nothing else. Just some simple things. And if you hang out here, you're going to see me do the same things over and over. And that's what I do all the time. Nothing secret to pull out. There may be some things that I don't keep in the forefront of my mind that come out at different points in the market. And that's why you got to go through a whole 4-year cycle to get that whole markup, markdown, the distribution, the accumulation, that whole cycle under your belt. Because there's different strategies that work better during different phases of those markets. When we were in the bearish market, I was using the Fibonacci, and I'm using these -2.7 areas on my fib pulls that I've got to help me figure out the next bottom area. I've done that a little bit lately, but that was the main go, that and rounding bottoms and looking for certain things on these patterns. But now we're in a different set of the market. Now I'm starting to do, now I'm identifying the accumulation ranges with the 236, because that's what works right now. That's the best thing that works right now to figure out what's going on. When we get toward distribution, we'll be using that too in a different way. Swing low to swing high. It'll be our distribution levels. When we go up to the tops, and then we got to, are we going to bounce off this? If we lose that, we're gone. We're coming down 618. We got all kinds of things that we can do, but it's really simple. And I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. And if you're not familiar with this, my hope is that you will pick it up as you go. You know, that I can explain it well enough that it will just gradually, you know, you'll just get it. I mean, it worked for Chris in the trading group. I don't think you have to go out for any big expensive courses. You just got to spend some time just watching. Because when I joined the trading group to learn this, and they walked me through the most boring videos, just going over Investopedia, which I got done on my own, but I probably wouldn't have had the motive. So me putting that money meant, well, I've already paid for it. I guess I got to do this. Forcing myself through it. I guess I needed that tough love. But then I'm going through and I'm like, well, I'm not learning anything. Where can I really learn it? That's where I run across Thomas Bukowski and all this. This is where it's coming from. Yeah. Best source ever right there. And I was going to make a point and I've already forgot what it was, but maybe it'll come back. But you don't need to pay $2,000 for a course or anything. All this information is out there free if you just know where to look. And I think at my point, I just didn't know, well, okay, I see all kinds of information here, there, but I don't know where to start. The biggest thing that helped me when I was in that trading, this is what I was going to talk about, was a screen share, which is basically what I do every night. I'm going over just talking about these things and then talking about stuff like this. That was the biggest thing that helped me understand what was going on. Not all the little trade setups, not the little things, the other little videos. They were helpful, but it was just seeing how somebody thought. Now they put it all together and explained it. That really made it come together for me, and I'm hoping that I can do that for other people. And what really got me about it is that they target the new people that don't know, the people that have already been hit hard, lost their money in the market, because it happens to all of us. And I know I had like when the pandemic money started coming out and everything, I had maybe up to about $6,000. I had a severance pay thing that I was able to put. So I had some money, but then I lost a lot of that, a lot of it. And then I've got to, now you want, I got about 4,000 left and you want me to give you 1,000 of it. Yay. Okay, great. And you don't need to do that, man. You need to preserve your capital, put it in on yourself. Just if you're really trying to make that life changing, man. I just see them taking advantage of the new people a lot. Sure, it will help, but they're getting paid and they're making the new people feel like they're just going to lose everything. If you don't join my trading group, you're going to lose. If you're not in my group, you're not making money, and for what you get, for what you pay, it really, it ends up you're in a community. You get into a community and then you're paying for a community, and then that community is expected to work and then do the work of that while somebody reaps the rewards. It just doesn't settle well with me. I don't know. Didn't mean to rant. I do rant from that time to time because I guess I'm trying to work through that. Did we take a look at Chainlink? I want to take a look at Chainlink. Make sure I didn't bore everybody out over here in the chat going off on that little rant. Grimmer says TRIAS and CTI. Okay, let's do that. But that is I'm hoping that I can present this in a way that it will help people kind of absorb it and learn and not get lost. So feedbacks is very helpful for me to do this. So I treasure the feedback that I get from you guys. Like somebody told me my charts were kind of busy, and so I'm trying to make notice of that too. But there's some things like the indicators I've got, I'm not getting rid of them. I use them. I don't use them all the time, but if I don't have them there, I will forget them. And then I've done it in videos at a time. I'll clear out my videos to make a thumbnail. Don't put my indicators back on, and then I don't go over the important things I really need to bring home. Moving averages were a big thing like that. TRIAS looks good, man. We're getting a 1-to-1 move. It's AB equals C is what this is basically is. Let's look that up on Thomas Bukowski, because we've seen this a lot. I play this a lot, and we can go over it. It's technically a reversal pattern. It's a bearish, but it's bullish until it's bearish. If that makes sense. So we'll go to index and we'll go to AB equals CD right here. This is the bearish one, but it's going up. Higher highs, higher. Yeah, I know. And then it dumps. It reaches its peak. And it's basically taking a measured move, but you get a pullback. Price guidance in the valley A to B peak, retraces to valley C, retrace B to C, this one right here, as a percentage of this. That's where we do our fibs. We look at the ratios between these two. That's all we're doing. We're measuring ratios, and that gives us insight to how things can play out. And it sounds confusing, but it's not. You just watch and you pick it up. But this one bouncing off the 618 is really good. And that's what we did. We bounced off the 618. Now I can take a measure move for this, or I can just rely on my little cheat codes that I got right up here. This -414. Watch me draw a line up there. Now this measure move, when I put it on the 618, should pretty much go right up there. Oh, did I get off a little bit? I'm off just a little bit. And then maybe, we gotta get picky here. Come down to where you got your little fib here. Oh my gosh. But you know, being picky like this kind of helps you figure this stuff. And there we are, boom, right on it. So if I take my measure moves right, that's where we go. And if I'm pulling from, see, I pulled from right down here too. Oh, what'd I do? Grab the wrong little guy. But we basically got that. And then when it gets up here, and that's why these, when you hear me talk about the -27s or the 127s, it depends on when I pull. This is a cheat. This is not really how it's supposed to be. It's me cheating. So I don't have to go back and do this number to kind of figure it out. See that? And even it's not perfect. But once it gets up here, it's going to have a good chance at a reversal or a more serious pullback. And it could be, you know, we might be looking at some wave structures here on the bigger time frame. Nice start for it. What if this is a wave 1 and this is a 2 and then we got a big 3? You know, I don't know. When listen to those Elliott wave people talk about it for weeks and weeks on end, they'd rather talk about it and trade about it from what I've seen. I want to trade it. I want to make that money. So we're in here. While Elliott wave's still trying to figure out, well, is this going to be a 3-wave or a maybe they're not that bad. I don't know, but it's just what I see. So we did TRIAS and I'm asking for time. My squirrel brain already forgot the other one after TRIAS and CTI. TRIAS looks good. TRIAS has been doing good. I wish I was still in this guy. I was in it. And I got out of it when I had to move from KuCoin and lost track of it. I'm not even sure if I can buy it on MEXC. Maybe that's why I'm not in it. So she's slowly going to make her way up to $22. And from where she is right now, that's another, what, 58%, 60%? Anyone buying this at this breakout area around $11, $12 be up almost double. Moonbag. Another strategy is not talked about that much when it comes to actually trading, but we talked about it earlier. Only take profit. Only pull out your capital, man. Try that for a year. Try that for a year. See if it don't change things for you. Whatsoever, Doug, do you think Bitcoin will fall badly after the halving? I do not think it will fall badly. It doesn't usually fall badly. It does fall. And it's usually people getting tired of Bitcoin. People will still be wanting Bitcoin. But the people are in it, if they're actually holding Bitcoin, that's usually they'll get tired of it and want to start venturing over into altcoins, which helps altcoins out. But I mean, expect a pullback, but we're not ready for just the straight run up yet. But we are getting so close, and they're pulling out all the games to play to scare people so they can take your Bitcoin. So when it comes to Bitcoin, man, my rule is definitely do not sell your Bitcoin right now. Definitely don't, because that's just them trying to steal it from you and sell it back to you at a higher price. Sam Webb says, I like when you break out the Bollinger Bands. Well, I haven't done that in a while. I do like them. And if you are, man, that's one of the best things you can do if you're new. If you, now I forget to say this. Like if you come in brand new and you're looking for one indicator, go with Bollinger Bands, man. I mean, there's other things you can learn as you go. Like my 5 moving average strategy is awesome. But Bollinger Bands, dude. And every exchange, even the ones on your phone, you know, they got this. And I mean, it's seriously, go to a bigger time frame, like the daily, and it's just playing ping pong basically between these lines, between these blue lines. It'll play ping, it'll go the blue lines to the red line, right? And you got to look at that. Is it bouncing off of that? If it bounces, it's going back to the blue line. If it falls through, it's going to the bottom blue line. If it closes candles below these lines, it's going to keep going to the downside. If it closes candles above these blue lines, it's going to keep going to the upside. Like it's doing here. It kept moving until it starts closing inside it. Bollinger Bands are awesome. Awesome. Just hands down. Now we got a revert, or we got rejected up here, right? So by the Bollinger Band strategy, you want to keep your eye right here in this little area. And you can come down to smaller time frames and see what's going on. See, it looks a lot bullish, more bullish on the 4 hour, right? Daily rules. The smaller time frames just help you kind of navigate things, and we're doing good. It's getting ready to go up on this one. Likely meaning that we got a good chance to get a bounce off of this area if we come back down here. If we do, that it might have a good chance to bounce off of it. But yeah, Bollinger Bands are awesome. Love them. I used to use them all the time. I don't have them on here often anymore just because, well, I've got too much other stuff. But I do pull them up every once in a while. They are definitely helpful. Throw them in on the weekly. You can get crazy on the weekly. The daily usually works pretty good. When you get to the weekly and you're kind of at the extent of the bands, you're going, Ooh, Ichimoku Cloud likes that on the weekly. Are we on TRIAS? Ichimoku loving TRIAS on the weekly. Moving averages are loving TRIAS on the TRIAS looks really strong for a man. You're making me want to FOMO in on this. Listen to my FOMO break. You're not that far from the breakout. You can go ahead and jump in. Actually, you know, that's not horrible. I better buy in there than when it's almost at target or getting a higher high. Has TRIAS been above this, right? Yeah. Not a member. Hey, welcome to the stream. I had a bag of TRIAS. Yeah, I wish I still did. It's been doing great. Yeah. All right, so we did TRIAS. I think we got them all right. There was one more. Oh Lord, what time is it? 11:45. Have I been going since? Wow. Nobody's gonna want to watch this one. I'm trying to look for the anything I missed there. So the Bitcoin and the halving thing. I mean, it's normal to get pullbacks. You on this market, you expect 30% up to 30% pullbacks on Bitcoin and up to 40% pullbacks on some of your altcoins. You got to be mentally set up for that, because one day it's like the whole market falls. You're like, Is it over? And then we gotta slowly let the dust settle and everything start climbing back up, and then it'll pick back speed and start going right back off again. That's the buy the dip period. All right, I don't see that I'm missing anything. Time, that was it, wasn't it? Or CTI was it, right? And then time. So CTI, I'm on a what? I'm on a 5-day chart. I end up on wild charts, but I try to, you know, I like the weekly, I like the daily. I usually try to start out on the daily. Daily looks strong, about to or above the 200 moving average. Moving averages are looking good. Possible bear trap. If it is, baby, if it is, she is going to spring up here like crazy to about maybe possibly 38 cents. She should get a strong takeoff from there if this is a bear trap, and it looks like a bear trap to me, baby. Look for a breakout here. If you can, if there is a retest, that would be an excellent place to get in at 2 cents. There may not be one if she goes freaking bullish. MACD's just now getting ready to take off here. That's why I like the MACD, saying, yeah, we're getting ready to start something big. So CTI is looking good. ClinTex, I like it. Good sign. And I'm not putting 6.5 cents out of the equation. We recovered the 3.8 cents area, 6.4, 6.5 cents on the way. And we're sitting at 2 cents right now. That's a 3x. And take a look at time. I think we usually look on Coinbase. $22. A lot better than 14. Got to say that. I mean, you know. On the daily, it's still looking good. She's still in her accumulation zone. This whole area right through here, we're still in accumulation. So if you're not in time, we like to be in time. And, you know, I think it looks like a cool project. Definitely has a low token supply, which means it can make some very huge gains like it has done in the past when it went all the way up to $228. Notice, if you please, that we had a high, then we had a higher high. That we're kind of forming a pattern that we've seen before, just on a much bigger scale. Could it be possible for that pattern to still be respected? Yeah. And from where we are right now, going straight up to the top of it would be $458. Meaning by the time that we would actually get up there, we could be at 500 and something. I'm just saying, just patterns are patterns, because we got it going on right here. Here's the other side. We could also drop to negative $13. Not. Partial decline here for this pattern, meaning that bouncing off the bottom of it means that we go to the top of it. It could. I'm just saying. It's got some big gaps. I'm very curious to see how it handles that. But twice before she established that trend line, it might respect it again. But looking more where we are now, moving averages are lining up beautifully, and I think it's the momentum is going to the upside. It's still going to struggle. She's flagging out. It's not going to be until she gets above, let's just say $28. She needs to get above there, close a candle above it, quit wicking and coming back into this pattern, coming below it, but actually open the candle. Let's say that. Open a candle. Let's get a candle above this thing, and then we're good. It's just, man, talk about trying your patience. This one needs to do something. Make us remember why we hold you, time. Have you ever looked at MTS Metastrike? I think we have. Probably still have something drawn on it. Yep, sure have. I got a red line there. That should be a 2-3. Yeah, that's accumulation. She's flagging out above the 236 fib, meaning she's testing the accumulation zone and testing it. You know, it's holding well. And if it can continue to hold and we can break out from here, accumulation is over and we're ready to start making higher highs, start heading to the 618 fib, wherever that might be price wise. I can look in just a second. But yeah, there it's at. It's a good accumulation. If she lost it, and she could, you know, that's about what, a 30% drop back down here to this other area. Whew, that might be on the way though. She's losing some key areas here. She's losing the 9 moving average. It hasn't officially crossed the 21. So, oh, get sleepy. So until they actually cross, it's not officially bearish for the big droppy drop. But she's looked like she's flirting with the idea of doing it. She could pull a Hail Mary and just surprise us and pop back up above that 9 moving average because they haven't crossed yet. That's what I'd be looking for. But you could definitely say that might be a double top. Meaning that she does need to take a little correction. So are you or are you not? I'm thinking she's still got a good chance of flipping this positive. So I would still be looking at that line there. We don't, and this is the best trend line we can go with. That's exactly perfect. The line in the sand would be this trend line. Break that trend line, expect 1 penny to come back into play, but it's got a good chance for this to hold from what I can see. 200 moving average is coming in there. I think it could hold and get a bounce as it establishes that, hey man, we're out of accumulation and ready to go to the upside. 618 fibs coming in at 40 cents. So that's, I mean, you could sell at 2.5 cents, but right at 4 cents is a better place. Good, I'm getting sleepy. What's Trevor says, thank you, dog. Can't trust anyone else with my money. Well, I'm definitely not trying to wreck anybody. I'm not trying to get financial advice. I'm basically talking from the perspective, you know, what I would do or what I would think about doing. And the whole just in crypto, it's good to have somebody that's, and I've put in the work, and I've got beaten up on this market enough to know how to handle myself a little bit. Okay, get the jujitsu, the nakawaki. Ichinage. But it's, you know, just sharing my ideas, what I see if it resonates with you. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, then, you know, hey, you a grown-ass man. You can make your own choices. Listen here. You's a grown-ass man. You need to learn on what you're going to do, and then you come at it, man. You go at it, you knock it out. Bite his ear off. That's what I did. Worked for me. It's not financial advice, though. I'm not saying it's not financial advice. But if you get your chance, you bite that ears off. I just say. I appreciate that voice member. Guys, I've got to get off here because I'm about to fall asleep, and don't need to do that. But tomorrow's Monday. Be careful. It's got to see what they're going to do on Bitcoin. We'll take one last look over here at the total. We actually took a total 3 on the big charts. This is altcoins, and she's looking. I mean, we talked about this before. This pattern. Now I'm kind of in the local area here, but I mean, it's got a good chance to start coming up. Can't swear that she's going to make it all the way up here, and she might, because that's what they do. 505 billion is what I want to see us reach and get above. That's a very important line for us to make it above. Little by little, but she's bounced off of here. She's headed up, not out of the woods yet. Wow, I've got to do this because this is what we really are. All All right, so that gives us an idea that we're coming up here to about 510. Maybe we're coming up here maybe for a retest. But as long as we're underneath this trend line, we're kind of in bearish territory with our altcoins. So let's keep that in mind, meaning that we have a chance to actually add to our bags during some of these downturns, and I think we'll have them. Looks like we're going to be working out through a little bit of noise for a little while with some altcoins. Now, we could be looking at a 5 wave coming up here, double top, maybe, you know, we may be spinning the rest of this quarter sideways, maybe, with altcoins. Not the worst thing. Some of them will pop off, some of them just be kind of lackluster and not really perform. I recommend trying to keep an eye on the top performers. I recommend that you go to Crypto Bubbles, put this over into Bitcoin from US dollars, put it over into Bitcoin, start looking at the larger time frame, see what's up, what's winning against Bitcoin, and then pay very special attention to the bonk. Yeah, going from the month to the year and all that. Even what the hell is EHEX? Hex is up 68%. Where you at? So you get over 1.1 cent, I don't want to talk to you. Hex. But if they're winning against Bitcoin, they're likely to be strong and perform strongly during this bull market that's upcoming, that we're just now starting. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. And I'm not sure if Crypto Bubbles is how accurate it is against gauging against Bitcoin. So charting against Bitcoin, which is something I'll be doing a little bit more, or hopefully doing a little bit more here on the stream. I'm trying to keep that in mindset. That's my game plan. I'm trying to grow Bitcoin through these altcoins. Stack my sats. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. I'll be here again tomorrow night, maybe during the day. I don't know. But definitely tomorrow evening. Hopefully see you guys then. Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Come on, come here, bud.